this month I got to pick the book for the book club, and I picked Landline by Rowell, and it's beautiful, beautiful cover, and today I'm going to talk about my thoughts on this book. Before we get into the actual book, let's judge the cover a bit more. I usually take the dust jackets off when I'm reading because I'm paranoid, and I just loved this part. Can we just admire this? It's so simple, but I love the font and the color scheme, and it's just so pretty. There's a house that I walk by a lot. It's gray with like yellow trim and a yellow door, and I'm just like in love with that house. Landline was a lot different from Rowell's other books. I think the main difference, besides it being her second adult book versus her young adult books, but this was not a story necessarily about two people falling in love. This is a story about two people that had already fallen in love, and down the road maybe they were kind of falling out of love a bit. Not all the way. I think that made it really different, and definitely was a different mindset. And Jessie had said that she couldn't really relate because these people were much older with children. It incorporated flashbacks to when these people met and how they got together and kind of the circumstances around that. So I think that kept me pulled in. It was definitely emotional, and I mean, no one would want to be in Georgie's situation. Georgie is the main character. She has a pretty cool life. She's a TV writer and has this big break, but her family life probably isn't the best. But I think what the events of this book shows her that, you know, maybe she should not just always go for her career, that her family is also important. If she lost her family, that would really affect her, so maybe she should put a little more time into it. And I think that's a lesson that anyone at any age can learn. It's definitely as we transition into adulthood, we might get caught up in getting a career or get caught up one side in starting a family, and trying to learn how to balance that is kind of a life thing, struggle. Now, about the actual point of this book called Landline, and this is kind of in the summary, so not really spoilery, but this landline that she uses in her mom's house that she finds in her old childhood bedroom is able to call back in time. I like how sometimes Georgie thought she was hallucinating, and she was just so confused and she thought she was utterly losing her mind, but it's never really explicitly explained. It was okay. Like, I could accept that. Of course, this is a work of fiction. I think it just kind of threw in that quirky element that made the book less depressing, because without that like kind of weird quirky element, there were a few other quirky elements though, and they just all kind of made the book happier, or just you could chuckle. I definitely had a few laughing out loud in the middle of a silent bus while reading this book. Particular scenes towards the end of the book involving a dryer. And that's all I'll say. I don't know if it's my favorite Rowell. I think I actually might prefer Attachments over Landline for adult books, but I definitely liked Landline. And I think I just maybe liked Attachments a bit more because it was a little closer to my age range and my life situation. I could very much appreciate this book, and I think Rowell should just keep on keeping on because she's amazing. Those are my thoughts on Landline by Rowell. I mean, the cover alone, I'm just in love with. That's all. I'm excited to read Jessie's pick, Dragon and Thief, which is sitting over there right now, so I can get my book with the dragon. Bye!